yet. You still have to like get out
Yeah.
of
I
the
mean,
tutorial mission.
right. But that sounds like it should be short if I at least am competent enough of what I'm doing.
Okay, well,
I
um,
mean, we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, I'll tell you right. Oh, you might be. Oh, right. Oh shit, you actually might be slower on on trying to get through the game, on getting through the tutorial than I was.
Hmm.
Um, let me tell you something right now. Um,
Beware the pickled feet.
no, no. I was just gonna say, the game itself, like the opening mission, actually has loot dropping.
The opening mission does have loot dropping. Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Just was weird that you didn't respond shortly after.
No. Sorry. I was just looking at the load. I was loading my game is all. No.
Gotcha.
What was I saying?
You said there is loot dropping
There are
even in the
there's
beginning.
like at the in the opening mission where you're saving for the prison, you have loot drops of varying qualities. Um, like almost immediately, the moment you start into the game, you are immediately like getting stuff, getting RNG drops. But I'll tell you right now, it is don't bother, do not, don't even bother trying to grind for random for RNG loot. You're gonna lose everything that you pretty much grabbed in the opening mission.
So wasn't betting on in this particular case, but thank you for the warning of that everything basically goes back to zero after it's done. Okay, good.
Well,
Then
yeah.
yeah.
Well, at least with the mission where you're escaping the tower. But you should probably watch the opening video like when you load the game and stuff, so you can be sort of impressed by it.
Right. Hence why I'm not hitting confirm just yet until we make certain we get whatever we need to say out of the way for a sec.
Well, I'm just gonna meanwhile be killing revenants here and getting
Those cups and
och.
all.
Yeah, I've already got three.
Cool. Okay, then with that said, greetings, salutation, and hello, interwebs. This is your friendly online feline neighbor, TimidTabby. Once again, bringing you some video game goodness with my buddy, Wrath of Autumn here. And starting up a new game, since for now we are down one of our players, who will be away for a while, so thought we'd start up a new game, and especially one that I've just been as eager to play as Wrath has. With how's it pronounced?
Neo,
Neo.
Neo.
So it sounds like Neon or Neo the one, but spelled differently. Okay. So yes, going to be trying out Neo here, which I am actually very interested in trying. I mean, it's basically a game. It's basically a Dark Souls esque type game with yokai. and
Yes, well, yes. So grab your otaku body pillow and prepare to master the power of the weeb.
So without further ado, let's just get on with this. Wrath has already gone far ahead to where he's prepared for the co-op portions that is possible in this game, but I have to get through a tutorial first and then do a few extra things before we can meet up and start against some missions. And hopefully that won't take too long with this tutorial. Let me just first
Well,
make some.
you'll may need to get used to the combat. But I'll just say like this: I am in love with this game. Like this is basically Bloodborne, except I think this game does the Bloodborne style combat a whole lot better. Uh, like the Bloodborne was just largely a mindless hack and slash. Uh, it was largely a mindless hack and slash where you're just basically spamming the dodge button and just where you do little more than chip away opponents' health. Um, this game, however, is actually has complexity with fighting stances, super moves, grappling, judo throws, finishers, super modes. So much more complex. So much more complexity. Like, in a good way. And also, it's possible to actually be passive and defend and actually defend without, but without or you can just be super aggressive and be reckless, and both are perfectly valid. Another cool thing they do away with is there is no parrying in Nioh, but they do something a lot cooler. Um, Instead, what they do is basically, if a opponent's stamina is out, then you actually have a chance to. They'll basically be in the red and be basically vulnerable for like a small bit. And if you hit them, they'll take more damage, and they're likely to fall prone. Which then you can actually attack them, kick them while they're down with a stab move or something, whatever, and do even more damage. So,
While their guard's down, beat them with a stick!
you know, I could never pull off the parrying in Bloodborne. It was just so freaking inconvenient and difficult. I never bothered. Like, I don't know if you ever tried. Well, actually, you were able to do it.
I've tried, and I was able to do decently throughout most of it, but it's only in regards to certain weapons that sometimes it's a little bit more trickier for me to do it. So yeah, I was about the same. I didn't really deal with it as much, especially when meeting various other enemies that have a unusual way of attacking that I can never get the timing down. Bloodborne was much easier to figure out the parrying on that one, so that one I parried like a boss. So game mode. Action mode stabilizes the frame rate. Movie mode stabilizes the resolution at a frame rate of 30 FPS. Movie mode variable frame rate. So I'll try that, I guess. Do you want to finish your... Go to configure for a second. Subtitles, yeah. Damage display, damage others, damage recovery, action camera. Don't know what that means. Skip watch
Now,
movies.
something I will say is, I think I'm gonna say that there isn't as many weapons per se in Nioh as there is in Bloodborne, and by that I mean like the weapons are just divided into like 8 or not like 10 to 12 categories, and then you just have like variations of that same weapon. But as a supplement, they basically make it so that weapons come in all kind. These weapons there's a huge pool of these 12 categories, and each of these weapons has different properties and stuff.
So similar types of weapons, but various properties of what they can do.
It's generally a much larger pool of weapons that you're collecting.
Gotcha. Confirming. Now I am at the title screen.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, okay. Didn't show the opening movie.
No, not yet. I was still messing with the settings first.
Oh, I mean, well, usually, like, there's a movie that appears before you actually start the game. Like, you know that opening movie.
The little demo reel or so sorts.
Yeah, that kind of shows stuff that you expect to see that may or may not show gameplay or whatnot.
Stand by. Going to double check something. Okay. Let me check something here. Maybe. Go wait.